The American shopping mall was supposed to be permanent. By 2024, over 600 of them were gone. In the 1980s and 1990s, the regional mall was the beating heart of suburban America. Enclosed, climate-controlled, anchored by department stores like Sears and JCPenney, these structures promised permanence. They were destinations. Families drove there on weekends. Teenagers gathered in food courts. For decades, the model seemed unshakable. Then something shifted. The first crack wasn't e-commerce. It was the anchor tenants themselves. Department stores had always been the gravitational core. They drew foot traffic that smaller retailers fed on. But by the 2000s, those anchors started closing. Sears hemorrhaged locations. Macy's shrank. Once an anchor left, the entire economic ecosystem collapsed. Foot traffic plummeted. Smaller tenants couldn't survive on reduced volume. Then Amazon arrived, not as the final blow, but as the accelerant. By 2010, online shopping was becoming convenient. By 2015, it was routine. Clothing, electronics, home goods, all deliverable in 2 days. The mall's core advantage, selection and immediacy, evaporated. But here's what economists often miss. Amazon didn't kill the mall alone. Changing consumer behavior did. Gen X and millennials simply didn't visit malls at the same rate as their parents. Socialization moved online. Retail fragmented. Some shoppers went to big-box stores like Target, others to strip malls or outlets. The monolithic mall model, which worked when it was the only game in town, couldn't compete when the game itself diversified. The real killer was real estate economics. Mall owners had borrowed heavily against their properties. When occupancy rates fell and rent revenues dried up, debt service became impossible. Properties that once generated steady cash flow became liabilities. Owners walked away or filed for bankruptcy. By 2020, the pandemic accelerated what was already in motion. The fallout wasn't just economic, it was geographic. Entire suburbs lost their gathering spaces. Tax bases shrunk. Communities lost anchor institutions. Some malls have been repurposed into housing or office space. Others sit vacant, slowly deteriorating. A few were demolished entirely. The American landscape was reshaped by forces that seemed inevitable in hindsight, but unimaginable a generation ago. What we're watching is the death of a business model, not because it was poorly managed, though some were, but because the conditions that created it, concentrated retail, limited e-commerce, car-dependent suburbs, and centralized entertainment, no longer exist. The mall didn't fail. The world around it simply changed. Understanding why malls collapse teaches us something essential about economic systems. Nothing is permanent. Structures that seem foundational can vanish when the forces supporting them shift. The next time you pass an empty mall, you're looking at the physical record of that change. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to explore how economic forces reshape the cities we live in. New analysis every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.